Now, today is that day where we, ladies and gents, we get to see the NAV insurance from some of our favorite EV stocks like Nio. And as seen on the screen, ladies and gents, for the period which started last week, Monday until Saturday, Nio sold total NAV insurance registrations of around 3,300. Now, these, ladies and gents, it puts Nio to have total NAV insurance registrations from the 1st to the 26th of November of 12,700. Now, I know that probably this might be the low number. This is not the kind of number we were expecting to see, but ladies and gents, what we have seen, especially in recent weeks, Nio got to remind us, or we got to get reminded that Nio is not the normal, of course, EV where we are to expect their EVs to, of course, sell like Xpeng and other, of course, normal mass market EV companies, but rather this is a company that sell quite expensive EVs, meaning that its target market, it is those in the, of course, middle upper class, which is why, ladies and gents, it sort of like makes sense, because in that segment we already know that Nio has got the majority of the market share, which, ladies and gents, even when we see them delivering this, we know they are doing pretty good when we look into their market. So as I've said, this 12,700, it is the total cumulative NAV insurance registrations that Nio has accumulated from the 1st to the 26th of November. So this is pretty good, looking at the fact that the total deliveries for the month of November will be coming out on Friday, or this coming Friday, which is something that is pretty amazing, because we'll get to see the total deliveries that Nio has delivered, including those deliveries that Nio is delivering in Europe. As you know that these, of course, NAV insurance registrations, they exclude their deliveries in Europe, or their NAV insurance registrations in Europe, meaning that when they add that and add, of course, the deliveries from Monday until Thursday, we are going to get the final figure, of which I still personally think that Nio will deliver over 16,000 or around 16,000 deliveries for the month of November, which will not be that bad, guys, because as I've said, we know the kind of market that Nio is in, and we know that they are dominating that market. Yeah, I know some people might be want to talk about Leodo, which we all know that Leodo, yes, they are selling quite expensive cars, but they are not selling fully EV cars, but rather they are selling half EV, half, of course, gas car, which is something that, of course, makes them to still have that advantage when it comes to the people that are still hesitant to go fully electric. So with Nio, we are seeing pretty good numbers coming in, and hopefully we get to see the good guidance that Nio will announce when they announce their Q3 earnings. I mean, on the 5th of December, we all know by now that Nio will be giving us their Q3 earnings, of which we expect to get the delivery guidance for Q4, which, looking at how things are, chances are the guidance might be still around the very same guidance, or around plus minus the guidance that they gave, of course, for their Q2, or for Q2, which was around 55 and 57,000. The guidance might still be around that bracket, looking at the kind of deliveries that we are seeing Nio producing on a month to month. I mean, on the 5th of December, when Nio announced the Q3 earnings, we will already know the deliveries for the first 2 months of Q4, and that is, of course, October and November. We'll only be left with the deliveries of December, and of which, after those earnings, we'll know the deliveries, or the kind of deliveries that Nio expects or is expecting to deliver for the month of December. Otherwise, I'm very excited about, of course, the deliveries, because regardless of us not probably seeing the kind of deliveries that Nio we wanted them to deliver, but this is a company that continues to make us see growth, because I remember after the October deliveries, Nio was sitting at 36 or plus 36% increase year over year in terms of deliveries, which is, I personally think, is still a good growth, but of course we would want to see more and more growth coming out of Nio. So this 3,300 for last week, hopefully they get the same number this week in this, for just these 4 days. Which do I think is possible? Absolutely, because what we usually see is that at the end or in the last week of the month, we see the NAV insurance registrations usually becoming much better than of course the previous week, so which is something that I expect Nio, or I expect the same trend to happen in these last 4 days, which is why I say the 3,300 which we saw Nio producing in last week's 6 days can be produced this week in 4 days. I would like to believe so, because we usually see of course these numbers increasing in the last week. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I'd just give you these quick updates. If you think that this video was amazing, please don't forget to hit likes button, comment and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey. Before you buy Nio for the very first time, it is always good or wise for you to do your own due diligence, so that at least you don't get to panic sell when you see sharp falls, sharp drops coming from this stock. Long term is still a winner onto this stock, meaning that when you invest in it, we should of course look what might come in the next year or two, which is something that of course I look forward to, especially next year in Q4, because we know that Nio would have started with their mass market of course brand, or selling their mass market AV brand helps, which is something that is pretty amazing, and so many of the new investors are patiently waiting for. Otherwise, that's all from me, and God bless you all.